Hey, Rolling 20 fans, this is G, and I'm here to tell you today about a new sponsor for our show, Casey's Irish Pub. This is an honest-to-God Boston or Chicago-style Irish pub located in downtown Los Angeles. They serve cooked food, 11 kinds of beer, and 49 different Irish whiskeys from 3 different distilleries. What does that mean? That means if you're looking for a good drink during a Los Angeles convention, you don't have to go far. If you're headed to Los Angeles for E3, Kamikaze, Anime Expo, the Los Angeles Car Show, or one of the hundreds of events happening near the Staples Center, then a good meal and a glass of Guinness is just a short walk away. Jeremy, the loud guy who won't shut up when we do our own podcast, he actually ate there during the last Anime Expo, and he said this. Forgive me if I don't sound like the guy. I went to Casey's Pub looking for a place to bring people for a good night of food and found it when I was driving people on my way back to the Los Angeles Convention Center. We went back and I had the best steak pot pie in my life down there. My wife had a good whiskey to sip, and 8 of us had fun talking and eating in a place that looked like it belonged in a movie. Casey's just a couple of blocks from the Westin Bonaventure. That means it's close to one of Anime Expo's own shuttle stops. We're even hosting a photo shoot there during the 2014 Anime Expo. If you want more details on that, email us at mspfreight@yahoo.com. Hey, so do yourself a favor. And don't stock up on bad beer and try to mix something sitting at the desk of your hotel room. Ride the elevator, get off at the Bonaventure, and walk to Casey's Irish Pub to get some drinks by their bartenders. Make some new memories and have some fun. We want to see you there.
Hello everybody, this is Anthony Bionis from Mission Start Podcast, and this is a Conover podcast. When you listen to this, it'll probably be either Monday or the week of Fanime, and everybody's getting ready for the event.
We're here to prognosticate the future.
Pretty much. We're here to predict the future, and we're here to just only temper your nerves and your fears of the con coming within a few days.
And for those of us who are already terrified, to sort of vent that out too.
I think the best way to describe it, I've seen this picture roam around the Facebooks recently. Also, I posted on our MSP Facebook timeline. It's basically one girl's like, "Yay, con's less than a week. Oh God, con's less than a week." So
That's basically how it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's where it bellows down, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So
isn't it fun watching the panic though? There's so many people that are just saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna cosplay all 4 days if I can finish this in 72 hours."
Exactly. All-nighters.
I'm in that boat right now.
all-nighters being held right now. I might be in that boat soon, but who knows how that goes. But anyways, we are here to talk about Fanime and kind of the things we look forward to, as well as other stuff we might want to go check out. And out of all of us, let's see. So we have a pretty long, I wouldn't say history of Fanime, but like in terms of like how many years that each of us have covered it, I'd say a good amount because I've been going since '06. So
I have gone 3 out of the last 4 years. I skipped last year due to money and transportation issues. My travel partner had to back out, and I'm not going to fault him for that. Life frickin' happens.
It does. It very well does. Chris, Chris, you're more the new person on this panel because this is your second time going, right?
No, this is like my 6th, 7th time.
Oh, right. Sorry, my bad.
He's our Fanime ninja. You don't know how often he's gone.
Like I first went like in the middle of high school, and after that, I've basically, like with the exception of maybe like 1 year or so, I've gone to Fanime like every year since.
Gotcha. Okay. My bad. And then Rin, what year is this for you, actually?
Let's see, I've been going since 2010, so maybe 2015 would be my sixth time going as well.
Okay. So I am the oldest person in this group, apparently. Yeah. I feel sad.
Oldest?
Beggar in power.
You really want to compare ages? Because I will scrape the dirt out from under my toenails right now. We can carbon date that someday.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt you there, Jeremy. I think you got me beat on age. I think when it comes to Fanime age, I beat you all though.
Okay, I guess that's true. I'm not sure if that means we need to cut you open and count the rings, but okay.
But yeah, so we're here.
I second that.
So we're here to talk about Fanime and everything about it. I guess we start off with like which particular panels or any of the events you guys planning to go check out. I got some open up that I can talk about right here, but
I don't have a list in front of me, and I generally don't check out the list until I have a full-blown schedule, which I'm a little pissed about how long it's taken them to get done.
It's their MO though. That's the thing though.
Is non-existent at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Their MO has always been late. In this case, there's still no schedule, and that's when it comes to having fun at a con, not a big deal. When you have to work a con, holy frick, I need that.
Yes, agreed. Right now, as I'm looking through the panels that I have open on tabs, it is listed on the site, but there's no timetable or rooms of where exactly it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it just says like, oh hey, this thing, but
this is happening when we don't know when.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure, like, within a few days they have to, or at least as soon as possible, get these schedules up and running. Because as Jeremy said, like, for, your normal congoers is not an issue. For people like us in the press, it's like, freak, man. Like, I need a schedule. I need to know where I'm going to be.
Truly.
No, and here's the thing, like, Fanime is starting technically on Wednesday. And here it is. It is currently, Saturday, the 16th, there are just 5 days to go until con, and you have to figure that they have to print out schedules and booklets for everyone that's going to be going there. And if they don't have that up yet, I mean, someone on their online team just ain't doing their job. Right.
I mean, like, but here's the thing, though. It's like, not to diverge this totally off topic, but don't they? I mean, like, as far as I know, like, they'll have signs up for like the schedules. I think swear that they use the guidebook app though. I'm not quite. I think they do. I don't think they do.
I remember last year and the year before that they did.
They didn't. Okay.
I said they did.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, but it was like day of, I think.
Interesting.
Or it was like day 0 or day -1.
Okay.
From what I remember.
I hope they bring that back because the guidebook app helps tremendously.
It's so good. Download that stuff.
Yeah, this is your free advertising guidebook app. You're welcome. Anyways, we're getting back to the panels and events. Like, which any particular one you are definitely going to check out?
Well, if you don't mind me taking the lead here,
do it.
So I'm gonna have my first 4 cosplay lineup for Fanime this year, and I really want to do I really want to be a part of the masquerade, but I can't because registrations are probably already full and waitlisted.
Pretty much, yeah.
But no, the way they're running, you might still have time, technically.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't sign up for a costume that's like half done, so there's that.
Granted. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, like, I'm really looking forward to it, and considering that the guest list, the guests are pretty cool for what they have done, which is, great for them, but for once, the guests don't particularly attract me, so I can focus my time on going to panels. So I want to cover the masquerade first and foremost, and then as for industry panels that they have going on, there's part of me is telling me to face my past and go to the Gaia panel because that was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah, no, and it's from what I heard,
it's still technically a thing.
No, it's still up and running. It's just that from what I heard, the inflation rate on the gold off of that website is so ridiculous. Like, I started when, you could buy an ancient katana for like 15,000 and it's just like and if you're lucky, you made like 300 in a day. Now there's stuff that's up like in the trillion and I think quadrillion range
Jesus.
of gold.
So literally the stock market just went sky high.
And not only that, but like you can make like 50K a day if you wanted. It's just like,
goddamn.
Oh my god.
Damn.
That sounds broken.
That is
Hey, watch your language.
Sorry. I forgot.
Oh, that's right. That's your rule, even.
Yeah.
We need to set up a cyber swear jar. He owes us some bitcoins or something.
Oh, I'll take 1 Bitcoin, please.
For a minute there, Chris, I thought you were referencing the Avengers. So.
Both.
Yeah.
I mean that literally and that.
Or he could just go the new girl. They had a D-bag jar.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but he's not like a D-bag specifically. But anyway, I'm starting to get off point here.
Let's get back on topic.
So,
topic?
Well, you're saying like, hey, what's the stuff that we're gonna talk about and what we want to go see?
I would like to see a good music fest, man.
Yeah, that would actually be really nice because in the past couple of years, it's been okay. I mean, really, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I know they got back on it not the last minute, but it was one of their latest kind of quiet announcements. I've not heard of the band, but at this point, I'm willing to try something new.
Right. There will be a concert at Fanime by this band. So as far as like how it would go, let's wait and see how it goes.
And based off of which day I'm going to be doing one costume where I'm doing a male version of Zontan. So as a result, I will be attending the Project H and Hentai Festival panel, which, I mean, that'll be interesting. I've never been to one, so I have no idea what I'm in for.
That's happening at Fanime?
Yeah, it's a whole panel thing. In fact, it's hosted by Project H LLC, and their description is 1 hour, no restrictions on video recording and photography, 18-plus audience, ID will be checked, and verbatim, off of the website, it says, like hentai, we do. We'll be discussing current and future licenses and our new and growing hentai festival, a feature at Anime Expo last year and this coming year. Learn more about how the industry is changing from a publisher's perspective, including Q&A, plus we'll have giveaways.
You've got my curiosity because, oddly enough, the Project H panels are some of the most talked about panels coming up at AX, so I want to know what they're bringing to Fanime, too.
So you'll be joining in with me on that?
I don't know about joining in. Because they haven't released a firm schedule, I've done a lot of work scheduling photography, and I've got 5 interviews scheduled over the course of the convention with Back On and a few other guests. So I may not make it to that. I just know that a lot of people, when it comes to guests at Anime Expo, they're not talking about the industry guests. They're just like, oh my god, Yamatagawa's coming for the Project H panel? That's where I'm going. And suddenly I'm sitting there going, family-friendly.
Okay, so here's the thing. Yamatagawa, fantastic artist. Is he ever going to show up here? No. Come on, this is America. He has other priorities to deal with.
He's going to Anime Expo. That's the thing, though.
I want to go now.
He's already announced he's going to their hentai festival, but that is also off subject.
Right, definitely. That's interesting.
And and then the last thing that I know, like for sure, that I'm going to be going to is the hentai room because one, just see like, are they just going to be playing the same stuff as they have like every other year? Bible Black, but just because for those of you who don't, who have never gone to it, it's not so much focusing on what pornography they're playing in the hentai room, but rather let's see how you can laugh the loudest in that room.
Agreed.
And it's like the entire room is just, it's heckling, it's screaming, it's just all this other stuff, and it is as clean as possible considering that they have security going up and down with a black light.
Yep. Think of it this way. Think of like Mystery Science Styles with hentai.
Okay, I was just trying to understand because I've never actually gone into one of the rooms before, even at my advanced age, and all I was thinking was, Chris probably goes to these rooms for the articles.
It's actually pretty funny, actually. There were a few times I did go, and there was the most hilarious things I would hear from the audience that is just yelling at the screen, which just got me laughing so hard at times. So yeah, I definitely.
Oh, and I was going to say, not only that, but dressed as Zonton, I would see if I can try and get the whole crowd to sing, I'd like to teach the world of FAP in perfect harmony.
That would be cool. That would be a moment.
Okay, so if you haven't known, if you didn't know, Zone with voice acting by Cax, and I don't know who else was involved, but they took the young Michael Jackson song, like, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, but then applied that to masturbation, and to go through the first stanza, it's like, I'd like to teach the world of FAP, and or actually no, I like to build the world a site and furnish it with porn, draw hentai pics and girls with dicks and tentacles galore. And
language rule.
And it just
language.
It's a verbatim thing that's actually those are the lyrics for it. So I have that as my one point of justification for that.
That is true. But
I'm gonna need some dolphin noises.
Oh man, that's gonna be pretty fun.
Quick, Anthony, edit that in. But no, it's just because I think it would be really funny, and for those who actually know that's they'll be laughing along and maybe singing, and it could be a really fun thing. That's all.
Agreed.
Aside from that, I'm just roaming around the convention center and just taking photos and buying and just generally being a weeb trash for that convention.
I hear you. Cool. Awesome. Alright, just out of curiosity, any gatherings you plan to go to? Chris?
Not really. I'm thinking, because for my costumes, I'm going to be going as Miyamoto Musashi, Zonton, King Vegeta, and I don't think there's going to be a DBZ gathering. And as
Hound. You would still getting jump gathering of some sort?
Yeah, there's one in Jump at the gathering for sure. I would assume there would be a DBZ gathering just because of the new DBZ movie and anime coming back. So,
you'd think so, but some people may be saving their game. You know how people can get about release dates and stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's
There's also any gatherings that people make will have been through the forum, and with people using Facebook, Twitter, all these other social networks more and more now, people just kind of make these events, but they don't really post back in the forum. So the people at Fanime who are in charge of getting the whole gathering list together are not aware of it, so they can't advertise what's not there.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
The forum's important.
That's true. That's very true. Again, most of what we can only talk about is always only on the site, and not much of anything has been planned out time-wise and location-wise yet.
You know what? I'm looking forward to cosplay. Fanime has some of the best anime cosplayers in California there. And the last few years I was there, they had the best. I thought they had the best anime cosplayers in California. I thought they beat out the ones at Axe and ALA and every place else I got to go.
Right. I
don't know. Fanime is on the high end of that spectrum.
They are. I would agree that Fanime, in my opinion, beats ALA. I'm not sure if it beats AX just because of the quality. But yeah, Fanime has always been pretty good when it comes to cosplayers coming in and just in their top A game. So yeah, it is definitely it's really cool to see.
If I got a frustration about cosplay at Fanime, it's probably the same one I got at Anime Expo. Being a comic book fan, I'm always eager to go to the Marvel and DC cosplay groups.
Yeah. But
because of how much the general anime fandom knows about comic books, it generally breaks down to the Avengers and Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were there during the Marvel DC gathering 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 2-3 years ago. Yeah, basically we were there, and there was a huge group. Full of everybody and whatnot. And
it started as a huge group, but when they had to move, all of a sudden it broke it down in half pretty quickly.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah.
If I ever participated, I'd probably go as Green Arrow just because, hey, I get to keep a goatee.
That's true. Very well could.
But yeah, and then it would break up that little, bit of oh, hey, there's Spider-Man, and there's Spider-Man, and oh, hey, there's Symbiote Spider-Man, and there's Spider-Man, and...
And then there's Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. There aren't that many Spider-Man cosplayers, at Fanime. At least from my knowledge in terms of, going to the gathering I went to, 2-3 years ago, it was, literally only, 4 Spider-Man players, including myself. I'm not sure if that number has
compared that to like 6, 7. I was gonna say when you compare that to like 6, 7 of them over at SAC Anime, it's like, oh hey, there's Spider-Man and there's Spider-Man and there's another Spider-Man.
So funny story. I was at ALA this past year, and I was. It wasn't last year. It might have been a year ago. No, it was this past year. And basically, I was dressed up. I had just had a Spider-Man mask on, but I was wearing the Attack on Titan uniform. Because technically, I guess it is canon, quote unquote, that Marvel and Attack on Titan crossed over, and that happened. So yeah, I was just kind of making a joke at it, and like I passed this Deadpool cosplayer, so I'm like, "Hi, Deadpool," and he responds, "Hi, Deadpool," and like I just to myself just laughed my ass off. I was like, "Ah, that's great." What was I saying? Yeah, pretty excited. In terms of like some of the stuff that is going on, gathering wise, there's usually a good amount that happens every year of anime of all sorts of some kind at any given time. To be honest,
there's a fair amount advertised, and I'm really glad that Fanime still actually runs its own forum. There's a lot of conventions that have given that up, and it can make finding the gatherings really frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, there's always like a good amount. Like at that the average, like maybe like 20, 15. So, and it expands from something very small to like something very huge. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So for people who are interested in checking out what exactly cosplay gatherings are happening, even though they're not finalized at this point, I think they pretty much are. Just go to the cosplay forums on Fanime's website.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
When you are leaving your hotel room for this convention, how do you pack your stuff? There's conventions like Anime Expo in San Diego where you got to pack like your hotel doesn't exist every day. Mm-hmm. A couple bottles of water, a good snack in case you don't want to spend like $18 for whatever they're serving at the cafeteria. How do you guys pack a bag? What do you think is necessary to grab when you leave your hotel for the day?
It's actually a good question. I think like if you have a couple power bars, some water, just something to get you by until like dinner time, then you should be okay. Just because of how hot it might be over in San Jose, just because I haven't checked the weather forecast, I'd recommend probably.
It's going to be in the high 70s at the worst.
Oh, wow,
it's generally
going
to be in the mid 70s. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people that before I head to a con, I'm checking the weather like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, it's funny how that works sometimes when it comes to the weather, because it's crucial.
Shoot, in that case.
I was gonna say like it's crucial because like I think it was like a year or two ago, like it actually rained during Fanime one time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not always perfect because goodness knows it said sun during the last ALA, and we know how that worked out.
Oh yeah, definitely that worked out greatly. But what I was gonna say, that's a very interesting question. I would say that at least for me, I'm trying to do something different this year. Normally, like I had this thing called the con diet, where basically I eat like very little. I eat just enough to get by, but I usually don't end up eating much because I'm running around the convention half the time. So usually I just take my wallet, my phone, and my camera equipment with me, and I go about my day and then buy whatever food I need to get. But this year I'm doing a bit different. I'm gonna buy some like power bars or something that similar to Chris, get some water, and just kind of eat those and munch on those throughout the day, and so I get like lunch or dinner later on.
Yeah, because I've never considered Fanime to be one of those things you have to pack heavy for. The years I've gone, generally all I've needed is a bottle of water, maybe some kind of low grade, high protein snack like some nuts or something simple like that, and then maybe a little more beyond that, as long as you're in decent walking distance from your hotel. If you're taking shuttles, that's a different story.
Agreed. Because like if you're a person who's going to the convention and his hotel is kind of far or you have to take a shuttle to, then like packing for the con is a bit more important.
Tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky and it's important, depending also on your cosplay too, because as many of us cosplayers know, some cosplays don't have pockets. So you have to make do with that somehow.
Yeah, the struggle.
The struggle is real. But
bring a purse. That would work.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah.
Does Fanime supply water? Because I've never thought that I don't remember getting around at Fanime to be too difficult.
They do.
They have stands.
Yeah,
and
they
by
have
stands. I mean buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They also have water fountains here and there if you don't mind San Jose's water.
Yeah, like there are water stations around the con. They are plentiful, but in terms of like how often they're filled up pretty often. I never had an issue where like I needed water and like there was one ran out. So, and they also have water fountains as well. So.
Okay, so generally this is one where walking isn't bad, packing light is okay. That's what I'm hearing. You know, I remember that Fanime always sets aside places for people to rest. You know, that it's not like Axe or I guess I could just say Axe because even San Diego will give people places to rest inside the hall itself.
Yeah, the thing about it too is like they do have a section for cosplayers and photographers and whoever else to kind of relax. The thing about it, and this is something I talked to somebody about last year, they didn't advertise it at all. I was like, what? Did this exist? It's like, yeah. So I was like, why didn't you advertise it? And then I can't remember what the answer was. But they do have something like that. I think they might have it again this year. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, I haven't seen anything about it yet. So if it does exist, that's cool. For anybody else that wants to know more about it, you know, look it up. But yeah, like hopefully it's still there again this year. Otherwise, you know, again, poor advertising. Bryn, what do you normally pack for cons when you go about your day?
Usually besides say a camera and other things I need with that for photography purposes, and badging off, phone.
Well, you got to think in terms of people who aren't us. I'm sure there's people who are just few first timers trying to find their way around, and they could really use a hand on trying to figure out their day.
I'm gonna be think about this. I'm not one who usually brings snacks around because I just usually grab something when I'm hungry during the day when I just happen to have time to go and catch a breath and sit down and eat somewhere. So I don't bring any snacks or water on my person personally.
Okay. Yeah, and usually water is pretty plentiful. There's nothing much to worry about there. But I definitely see the strategy of bringing snacks and versus not bringing snacks. Do note though, this happens a few times, and I want to say it happens at least once a year at Fanime.
What?
Usually there is somebody who would pass out on the middle of the floor because he or she was not eating at all and was running on maybe 2 hours of sleep. And the paramedics had to come in and take care of this. I feel like that happens every year at Fanime, and there's got to be that one person.
Fanime is one of the few 24-hour cons, and there's always some moron that takes that literally. I have to be running all 24 hours, all 4 days. Don't do that. For God's sakes, don't do that.
If not all of it, they try to do 90% of it, and that's still a bad idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For freak's sake, yeah.
You gotta rest up. You can't just go 96 hours and just run around and doing things.
There are people who can, but I don't want to smell you, and I don't want to see you.
Exactly. We're kind of harking back to the rules of conventions. But essentially with Fanime, for newcomers, there's definitely a line of having fun and hey, your body needs stuff to survive. So,
especially rest.
Yes, definitely. So our best advice right now for newcomers is get plenty of rest, eat well, and just be mindful of many things. But yeah, what was I? How did we get here?
I almost forgot. There's a little warning that should be issued. They do have a shuttle service that goes until I think about 1 in the morning. If you aren't in a hotel that's within 3 blocks, make sure that you're back on that shuttle by the last time it goes out. Because from personal experience, I had a hotel that was 7.5 miles away.
Damn.
This is a couple of years ago, and I did a really terrible attempt at cosplaying as Vegeta, and I walked back from the convention center back to the hotel got there at like 10 in the morning, and everyone else was just leaving by the time I got there.
Wow.
So yeah, just keep in mind that the shuttle service is not like a 24-hour, like, oh yeah, you can just go ahead and, head back to the hotel from wherever. Like, it's gonna end at a fixed point in time, so make sure that you do plan accordingly with that.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, definitely.
That actually leads into a second point. I mean, how would you guys rate the area that the convention is held in? I mean, I don't mean the convention center. I mean San Jose itself.
I think it's fine.
Pretty good neighborhood.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty good neighborhood contained to the convention center, but you go about 3 blocks in any direction, and it changes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's very true. It does give...
At night in particular.
Yeah, definitely. There's some bad spots around the convention center area. There are it is nearby some places that are very helpful, like in terms of restaurants nearby the convention center, which is great. There's definitely a few places for me I always go to as a go-to place in case plan A and B fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of food-wise, this is not much of an issue. If you need to get like some water or whatnot, there's like a Walgreens around the corner from the convention center or from the hotel where you may be staying at.
There's a Safeway too.
Yeah, there's also a Safeway as well. So I would say the place is generally good. Although, yeah, I agree with Jeremy. There are definitely places like around the con that are kind of bad.
Yeah, from a planning standpoint, I think it's fine. However, there is a bunch of free roaming homeless in the area.
Yeah, so you're walking around at night. I would personally advise walk around with a few others.
Oh, definitely walk with somebody. I walked with 2 young ladies 3 years ago in San Jose back from dinner. And as they were talking to me, 3 guys came up and tried to flirt with them and tried to muscle me out of the way. And then they heard click of a small knife opening up, and they decided to back off.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah. I'm serious when it comes to my personal security.
Wow.
I feel you.
From my little adventure when I was walking back to the hotel, I had a hobo following me for 2 miles. So.
Ooh, you must have been cute.
Oh, yeah. I mean, here I am. I'm in a spandex outfit and white boots and gloves, and it's hugging my butt so tightly.
That's working for me, baby.
And on top of that, my hair was all up in gel, and you know what? I'm just going to say I'm hot. So.
The truth comes out.
There it is.
Narcissism at its finest. But no,
yes.
it's just the fact that there was this hobo following me for 2 miles when I was following the little, like, what do you call that? Like the BART train sort of thingy.
Oh, light rail.
Light rail, yeah.
Yeah, light rail, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, so, like, I was following that back to the hotel because it was pretty much just, we're on that, and we just take it right all the way down. Yeah, 2 miles. I had to lose the guy in a neighborhood, and it was just, it was terrible. Yeah, once you're like 5 blocks out, just know. If you know you're that far, just stay in the convention center. Wait until the morning shuttles. Just like nap in there. Like go and shower and change outfits afterwards.
Try not to get caught by staff. Like just don't collapse in the middle of the hallway though.
Right.
Maybe actually.
Definitely. Like, yes, it is a 24-hour convention for the next 4 or 5 days that it's there. But they definitely are cracking down on people sleeping within the convention itself, and they're trying to crack down on that.
Oh,
I hadn't heard that.
And this con's going to be a first for me. I'm actually taking part in the swap meet.
Oh, that's right. You're taking part in the swap meet.
Yeah, I got some weird stuff to sell. I know that. I got some manga books. I got Tokyo Pop manga books to sell. I got a San Diego convention exclusive to sell. I have 11 volumes of Battle Royale and a whole bunch of other odds and ends.
I'm probably gonna just take this from you. Just saying.
Why is it every time I start talking about the stuff I got to sell, everyone just says, that's mine already. Don't do that. This is happening way too often because I was talking about the San Diego exclusive I've got to sell, and somebody already has jumped on me and just said, if that's in decent shape, that's mine. It's like, frick, man.
Yeah.
Why do I even bother? I should just go to frickin' eBay, but no.
It's
because I have a manga collection.
What I will say about the swap meet is that there, unlike I think especially on day 0, there are tons of people that go to the swap meet. I remember last year, they actually have footage of it too. There was a long line that went from the building where they hold the masquerade at, across from the convention center, and it wrapped around the building like almost twice, and it was like, holy wow, that is crazy. So there's definitely lots of people. So you're doing more than opportunity that you will sell out, Jeremy.
That's interesting because I'm bringing stuff from my era of nerddom, which is probably like a generation past technically.
Right, definitely.
You're still gonna find quite a bit of people who would be interested in that stuff.
I hope so. I'm bringing a variance of items, including some older wall scrolls from series that are technically not being produced right now. So I think I'm curious about what's going to happen.
It's yeah. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it all depends on how much money they have and how much they can give out at one given time.
I'm bringing change, so we'll see.
Definitely. You have fun. The swap meets are always pretty fun, and I usually go to them.
Actually, should we pimp the other event I'm taking part in?
Sure, why not? We're talking about panels and events anyways. But yeah, let's talk about the other event you're in.
I have entered into Cosplay Wrestling Federation.
Yes, I would say, you know what's funny to me? I think this was last year's panel that broke out and became more of a thing since then.
Yeah, last year's Fanime, as they put it, was definitely what put them on the map.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And for those who don't know, so this is I know the schedule time for this is Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm not sure where exactly. I
don't think, because I haven't put up a schedule, I don't think anybody knows.
Right, definitely. It is basically a panel where cosplayers, act like wrestlers in the mindset of kind of like basically just making promos or just making like just kind of these trash talkings against other cosplayers and trying to win the crowd over. There's no wrestling involved.
Damn it! I could win that.
But like it's mostly just trash talking and winning the crowd over in whatever character you're in. So Fanimania last year for the Cosplay Wrestling Federation was ridiculously good. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I missed Fanimania because I couldn't make it. It sounds like that would have been a hell of a show, but we'll see what I do this year.
Yeah, definitely. And for those who don't know, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. Just look at Fanimania.
We've got several videos of the CWF. They are thrilled.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, definitely. Jeremy's gonna be in it. I'll be there, taking coverage of it. And I'm excited because apparently they have like the most entrants they had in any CWF event that they ever had at any given con. So I'm excited to see what happens.
God. What do you guys think of the dealers hall there? What's it usually like?
So funny. Or I'm gonna let you go first. Yeah.
Oh my God! 3 opinions at once and not one completed.
Real quickly, like for me, like I was actually pretty surprised last year. They expanded the dealers hall. It was actually bigger than previous years.
Really?
Yeah, they expanded it. They expanded it at least a good. I want to say.
Another room over.
Like I want to say like it was a good
1/3, 1/2, 1/4. It's
like
gotta be a fraction.
It's gotta be the third. They expanded the room space too. So it's actually bigger than it was last year. I wouldn't say AX level, but it's like kind of getting there. It depends on how big they make it this year, or if it stays the same.
Because what they did in previous years, they would actually combine the dealers hall and artist alley in one, like AX does. But then more recently, they moved at least last year, they moved the artist alley to a different area. So, they moved it to another room so that it doesn't conflict with the dealers hall anymore. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. I always hate it when artist alley have to share a room with dealers hall. It feels like a conflict.
Right. The thing about it though is like I feel So just not going to tangent. The Artist Alley is a much bigger space, but it's outside and it's behind the convention center. Many people didn't know where it was at first, so many people were kind of confused why
Actually,
there wasn't.
that was 2 years ago.
It's
where
the same. It's still the same this year.
Is it? No. I thought that's where the swap meet was.
No. I remember 2014, they moved, after they've already finished the construction with the expansion of the convention center, they moved the Artist Alley to a room across the hall from...
right. No, you're right. I totally forgot. You're right, my bad. I scratched what I just said.
What you said was true for 2013.
You've just heard the official MSP retraction.
Yes, so they do have a entire room dedicated to the Artist Alley within the convention center. I scratched what I just said prior. Yes.
Okay.
But it's cool.
Yeah, they were doing awesome. A lot of construction from last time, and it should finally, all be completely done, and we have a nice big wide open space and whole gaming section, and now we'll actually be inside the building this time.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, I was not there last year for how the expansion affected everything. It sounds like what you're saying, they took parts of the convention center that used to be more general purpose, and they moved in the expansion so they could expand the dealer's hall. Did the expansion do wonders for the con last year, or was it just more of the same?
It was still in the middle of construction.
It was still in the middle of construction, but what happened was there was essentially no line con.
Yeah,
okay.
There was
so
a lot.
There was registration at least.
Yeah, there was a lot of space. There's a lot of stuff that changed since you were there. I think it'd be interesting for you, Jeremy, because your vision of what Fanime was then is a bit different when you see it this year. Because
I was media 2 years ago. My vision of Fanime is vastly different than what most people think of it.
Yeah, definitely. So going back in dealer's hall, it expanded and there's more space to walk around in. It's virtually the same thing. Virtually the same how it was in prior years, except they have much more space to walk around. And if they might bring it back, since it was there last year, they had a ball pit. So, that might happen again.
They also had some bounce houses for charity purposes.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, a lot has changed structurally. So the registration is held in a different area now, and there's more space actually in that area. Wasn't
it held in a hotel last time?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, it was in a fair amount.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was awful. Oh god.
What they do now is they do it in the convention center itself on the lower floor.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like a subfloor to kind of where you're walking, where registration used to be, but think just in a floor below, nearby that used to be area. There's that. I'm trying to think what else was changed. Structurally, there are some things that are changed. They have more power outlets on the walls now of the convention center, so people can sit on the wall and actually plug in their stuff and not worry about losing power.
I can't tell you how much that disturbs me these days to just see a whole bunch of wallflowers.
Well, this is why I bring a battery along with me. External battery.
Yeah, me too.
Same here.
So convenient.
But it's helpful, and if in case you need a break and and you got the space, you do it. They've redone some stuff. Now each room or the major rooms at Fanime, they have big numbers, so room 2, okay, there's a big number 2 here. I know where this is at. Or room 3. And they're specifically used for the dealer's hall, gaming room, and then I have one other room. I can't remember at the moment, but yeah, structurally, you'll see some definitely some different things here at Fanime in your previous time at Fanime, Jeremy.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's gonna be mind blowing, but it's helpful, to say the least.
The gates are more efficient, if that says anything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always a good thing.
It is definitely. It is. But aside from that, though, other than structural means in terms of what Fanime is, what other events are you guys planning to go? because I think for me right now it's definitely CWF on Sunday nights, and I'm definitely.
I like how you said that like a promo. CWF on Sunday nights.
Sunday, one night only. I'm planning to go cover that, but I'm also planning to cover the event on Friday night, the cosplay swimsuit contest.
You mentioned something about that.
Yeah, I talked to the guy who's heading in, and yeah, he's having it again this year, and apparently they got a bigger room now, so it's going to be even bigger than last year, and last year was pretty huge. I was in that line for a while, but yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun, no doubt. So, and as the title says, yes, it is a cosplay swimsuit contest. Pretty much, that's all there is to it. There's nothing more to.
Self-explanatory.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like there's other panels I want to go check out. Like if I have time, I want to check out the Bonsai Arcade. Because I went to the one at ALA and I had a lot of fun there. That was cool. I want to check out the Mythbusters Anime Edition and see what that's all about.
Mythbusters Anime Edition.
Yes, here's their description of what it is. Is it really responsible for anime characters to move so fast and jump so high? What about giant robots, magic girls, and time travel? Come join physics graduates Joe and Darwin as they take a look at how well anime adheres to laws of physics.
What?
From the sane to the far-fetched to the absolutely ridiculous, anime will be scrutinized under the lens of modern science.
If I was really concerned about physics, would I be watching anime?
No physics knowledge is assumed, but a few basic physics may make some things easier to understand.
I'm a diehard Ranma fan. Even I would tell you that does not happen.
I mean, it doesn't take a scientist to figure it out.
Sorry,
but it'd be interesting.
Sorry, in the jar.
Whoops.
Speaking of Ranma, just imagine that, since we're on the topic of that, you have a human body turning into a full-size panda, for just one example right there. Just imagine the bones twisting and contorting and growing and breaking everywhere just to accommodate that form.
Yeah.
Physics do not apply in anime.
It doesn't. It would be interesting just to see how they break down each thing, depending on what it is. I kind of want to see what their explanation is for like how Goku powers up. What?
Hair gel.
It's midichlorians. Other things I want to try and plan to check out, have time. Cosplay documentary screening. Cosplay Nation's one that.
Is 3D Cosplay Dreams going to be there?
I don't know. It's Cosplay Nation is the movie, the title of what it is. They have a link here. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm always down when it comes to kind of documentaries or anything like that with the cosplay community. Voice acting with hentai. I've never been to any of the voice acting with hentai panels, but I've always heard they're really hilarious.
The reviews on that are always strong. I hear they're hilarious panels.
Yes.
Definitely. So I want to try and check that out. If I'm able to, I want to check out the Whose Line Is It Anime, because usually those are pretty funny. I went to the one at ALA like a year ago, and I had a good time. And then fully unscripted improv show. None of those comedy sketches I'm totally into, and see if I have time for that. And then the last one, and there might be more I might add to it, is All-Star Voice Actor Palooza, which pretty much is like every voice actor in one room and they're answering questions and whatnot. So yeah, it's there's some panels I plan to check out if I have time for it. It also depends on the scheduling of how it works out. But that's my general plan for panels.
Yeah, I like Fanime's general listing of panels too. They're one of the few cons that really does have something for everybody. Anime Expo tends to be about trade stuff. ALA working there, they get a few interesting guests, but it's not really big wigs. Fanime gets a few big wigs. They get some fan interest panels going. They have a little bit of something for every bit of fandom out there. I love it.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely. Fanime is always good on that when it comes to panels and other things related to that. So yeah, that's my kind of general overview. Rin, what's your battle plan so far looking for Fanime?
I've looked at the list so far. What I really want to do for sure is I want to check out Nonaka Ai's panel on voice acting in Japan. She does the voice of several characters. Let me see if I can pull it up very quickly.
Speaking of that real quickly, I find it funny that like some of the voice actors or not voice actors, but some of the special guests that Fanime announced was like on certain days would be the same day as like AX would announce their stuff. So it felt like an AX versus Fanime thing type of like for a little bit.
A lot of people on Facebook noticed that too. Who was announcing first? Was it Fanime or was it Anime Expo?
AX was first when they announced that the guy who made Yosuke was coming to Anime Expo.
Yeah.
And then like quickly that same day, like some special guests were announced from Fanime on that same day. So it just kind of seemed like back and forth. They seemed to be like fighting each other out. We got better special guests than you do. Nah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nonaka Ai, she get a full call from Clangin.
Awesome.
And
yeah.
Kyoko from Madoka Magica. And this is apparently her first time in the west coast of the United States.
Wow.
Okay. What about Kazuhiro Soeto? Who's that?
Oh, he is a scriptwriter. Yeah, storyboard artist, and also animator. Did things like Vision of Escaflowne, Cowboy Bebop, Turn A Gundam.
Really? Because did you guys know that we have an interview scheduled with him too?
Awesome.
I'll believe it.
Yeah, you did post on that on our little group thing, didn't you?
Well, I posted on that in the internal, but I never know who the hell reads.
That's true.
I get it. I give a glance over it, but then I'm just like, oh, well, you've already scheduled that, and that's the thing, so I'll just make sure to, do what I can to cover everything else outside while you're busy with interviews.
Oh, no, I don't have to be the one doing interviews. Other people can grab a few if they want. I mean...
It's got a storyboard panel that'd be interesting. Sounds like it'd be worth checking out, I suppose.
Definitely.
And I always like to go to Music Fest when possible. Can't miss that. It's a great event.
Music fests are usually pretty good. Like I don't really hear any downsides to any of it. So other than waiting in line, but that comes with a territory.
the wait is worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Music Fest, even when it's got bands I'm not interested in, the shows tend to be really good. You know, I only saw one guy who really didn't mesh with the crowd very well, but that was the poor guy who they hired to precede Flow about 3 years ago. And nothing against his music whatsoever. He put on a show, but unfortunately for him, two very different types of music crowds were there.
Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy that does the opening or closing for Black Butler, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. He dressed up as one of the characters too, and he was dancing hard up there. He was trying, but about halfway through his set, people just started sitting down, and I started looking around, going, "Okay, I know who you all showed up for."
No, I went there explicitly for Flow, and I thought, like, hey, his music's okay, but then it's just like, oh, you love me, and it's just like, you're okay.
I'm personally fond of both Flow and...
Before people start posting stuff, we are not poo-pooing on the poor guy. He had a hard act to proceed.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you're dealing with Flow, I mean, it's like opening up for, I don't know, let's say Kiss or something like that. Like a huge name. And it's just really hard to like do well enough to say, hey, you were great too. And I mean, like I said, I thought his music was really good. It's just...
It was also two vastly different types of music that were on that stage.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there were people that were there for one, or they were there for the other.
Yeah, let me give you an example. I'm driving around LA, and occasionally I hear a radio ad for a concert tour going on that is Marilyn Manson and the Smashing Pumpkins. That's not a joke. That's for real. And I was listening to this ad just going, what, Justin Bieber and Slipknot weren't available?
It is very...
It seems that in recent years they've been putting together acts that are more similar, so as not to like make this
disparity that they had in 13.
I wouldn't call it a mistake, but it was like it would just be more of a proper transition from one to the other.
Right. And as far as I know, like Fanime's always had a music fest. They have not had a year, at least to my knowledge, that they didn't have a music fest. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I
No,
believe.
Music Fest is one of their premier events. To take that away from Fanime is pretty bad.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but like when LMC was performing, and this was a couple years ago, like did they have an opening act or was it just rock the LMC?
I do not know. I know
I
years
think it
ago.
was just LMC for that one night. Because like if they have
Yeah,
it to where,
I think it was only them.
Okay, because like I know that when they did that and before, even though I didn't get to go to it, Ancafe was performing over at Fanime. Like they had just the one band performing that one night, and then they had another one the next day. Like it turned out very smoothly.
Wasn't it one of those bands you mentioned? The one that's not OMC that performed for that year's Masquerade pre-show or halftime? No, not halftime, but pre-show.
I can't remember the guy's name, but I know who you're talking about.
Because they sometimes do that. They'll have a different band show or a different artist show up, and they'll perform right before the Masquerade starts.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like it works if it's like a smaller band and they're doing it before that event. It was
usually someone more local, so someone that did not come all the way from the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
But no, I was just gonna say that like the music fest in general, like it's always entertaining, and even if I have, well, I mean, granted that they do have the band posted as to who's performing, like I personally never heard of them before, and it might be really interesting to go and watch them perform. That's all.
Well, back on that street stuff.
Definitely. So is any other particular adventure patterns you guys can check out? I think when you were kind of in the middle of other stuff that you were putting down, or was that about it?
Yeah, that was me. I guess one more I want to check out for sure is probably the VIZ Media Industry Panel. They should probably have some decent announcements coming up. So looking forward to that.
Cool. Yeah, it generally is a pretty good panel. In terms of like what they're coming out with their products. Viz Media, it's still pretty prominent in the anime circles in terms of like what they're providing. So there's definitely, when they take a chance, they'll definitely have a panel, at some of the big cons like Fanime to definitely display what's coming up for sure.
Are there big what do you call it, panels? Not panels. I know what panels are. Are there big industry panels at Fanime?
There is and is not, because I know, let me bring it up actually, because like there is Crunchyroll.
There's quite a few.
For sure.
There's 6 total: Crunchyroll, Gaia, Project H, Viz Media, Yaoi-Con, and Dark Horse Comics are the ones listed for industry in particular. And those are usually hosted in the larger panel rooms that they have next to the convention center in the Marriott.
Okay.
They do attract quite the crowd.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think the one thing we forgot to mention in all this is that most of the panels that are being held, and this happened last year, it's probably gonna happen this year as well, are held in different buildings than the actual convention center. Now I remember it being specifically in the convention center, and there's still some events and panels being held within the convention center, but majority of the panels are being held outside.
Like the Fairmont, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
like
we don't know where anything is yet.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you like if you want to go to the panel building, that's pretty much what it is. But do you think that is a I won't say hindrance, but do you think that is a little bit of inconvenience versus like having everything in one building?
I would say it's more of a trade-off thing. The idea of having it in another building is really just because it allows for the convention to have more simultaneous things going at once. So they can have something going on at the convention center itself. They can have something over at, say, the Fairmont or Civic Auditorium. And because of all these different buildings that Fanime can have access to whenever they feel like, they can always keep expanding and not have to worry about moving out of the area like some cons have to do.
Mm-hmm.
like they have a lot of buildings there. They have several hotels that they can have access to, like the Fairmont, the Hyatt, and all of that are within like a block or two within each other. So Fanime is not really gonna expand to a point where it has to be forced out of downtown San Jose anytime soon. So I think it's a really good trade-off to have something that's like a slight walk away from the main convention center, so that things do not have to become so inconvenient when it comes time to go, oh, it's time to pack everything and move to another city.
That's an interesting point you brought up, because I wonder if it may be time for them to move. The demand on this has grown by the year, and their registration system was fundamentally broken this year when it came to the hotels.
Yeah, the hotel-wise, yes.
Thing, that's something that's just really hard to deal with in general. It doesn't matter really where you are. If your server can't handle it, your server can't handle it.
It's not just the servers, though. It kind of leads into a few different problems that this convention in particular is facing right now, when it includes hotel space and versus ghosting.
Yeah.
Well, ghosting is an inherent problem of conventions overall. I don't want to go too far into it, but I'm just going to say that Fanime, for the past X amount of years that they've been at the San Jose Convention Center and downtown San Jose, they clearly have not shown any indication that they need to move anytime soon, I would think.
Yeah, I would agree on this one, and the fact that while the hotels have always been such a struggle every year for people to get, and I agree, I think they should really fix their hotel system and how they make that work.
Oh yes.
But in terms of like how the growth of Fanime has been, I agree, it grows every year, but I don't feel it's at that point where it's that they need to move anytime soon. I feel like, if anything, they should just expand the hotel list for Fanime to include more hotels around the convention center.
Are there unused hotels is the question, though, because they definitely resorted to stuff like 4 miles away pretty quickly.
Yeah, I believe there are still some unused hotels that are nearby the con, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think there are definitely some hotels that are unused, to my knowledge at least. But I feel like it's not at that point where it's like Comic-Con status, where like there's so many people and there's like just the building is just too packed for people,
It's not a matter of building being packed. It's a matter of convenience. That's what I'm getting to.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they've
broken their convenience for a convention of this size. And there's a few ways to address it. Not all of them are popular, though. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think the way that Fanime's been handling it so far, it doesn't seem to be so big of an issue as of yet. So I feel that they can stay in San Jose for quite a while longer.
If anything, if there's any indication of their dedication to that one spot in San Jose, they had construction work done on the convention to expand it, but also to add in a certain section just for the artist alley, so there's more room for people to move in there instead of having to cram in one area to another.
Oh, you remember like the tent that the artist alley used to be in for that year?
Yeah, that's where the swap meet is.
Yeah, that's the swap meet area.
So again, I'm not questioning the San Jose building. Don't misunderstand that. I'm questioning the area. It's like how I question downtown Los Angeles right now when it comes to Anime Expo. It really doesn't seem to have what it needs to serve it based on how quickly their hotels went out as well.
I see what you're saying.
I think downtown San Jose could still handle the current growth influx that's happening with each and every year.
I think that.
And if it's not downtown San Jose, then because of how if they could make improvements to the shuttle system, then they can also just have more hotels, say in the San Jose airport area. In worst case,
I would say that I'm just going on a limb, but I'm gonna say that I wouldn't doubt that there would be hotels wanting to build around the convention center, not just for Fanime but for other events as well. But because Fanime is such a big event every year in San Jose, including having the governor of San Jose to come out and announce that on May 22nd, like it is an official holiday in San Jose called Fanime Day. So it is definitely the governor sees it and the city sees this is a big thing.
The mayor?
Makes a lot of, yeah, the mayor. My bad. I'm totally just
wait, what someone says own state.
Yeah, no. Sorry. The mayor of San Jose, when somebody that high up like announces that Fanime Day on May 22nd is an official holiday within San Jose, like it tells you a lot about this convention and not only how many people come for this one event, but also the money it makes too.
Oh,
and that's the other big thing.
That tells you certain things about what the city thinks about it. It still doesn't tell you whether or not the city can handle it. You know, San Diego and Comic-Con are having their own ordeals right now.
For sure. I think for the most part, Fanime has always been in good hands.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's been times where it hasn't. But for the most part, it's always been in good hands in terms of how they want to run the convention and how they want to expand it in some sort of way or find some plans for it. So I think I would say, ask me in 5 years where Fanime is going to be, and that's my guesstimation that they might either expand or they might. I don't think they would move. Actually, I think they're good to stay. I think they're gonna be there for a long time.
Just some prognostication. That's all. I'm trying to, sometimes you got to think ahead of these things.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely hear you. I think time will tell, but I think that Fanime is staying put for a very long time unless something dramatic happens.
Last question I got: any secret squirrel places you like to go to get a meal during Fanime? Because I got a couple.
So for me, it's usually, I'm pretty bad on this, but it's usually I just go to the same fast food places because it's easy and cheap and I know where it's at.
Yeah.
So like, what was it? It's not Burger King, but like the one next to the San Jose State campus.
I think there's a Jack in the Box over there.
Yeah, Jack in the Box is what I'm thinking of. Sometimes Shack in a Box. Sometimes it's like I even went out to a few other new places I've never been to. Like there's this on that same in that same block. There's a hot dog restaurant or kind of like a burger joint in that same block as well. And they were like this Asian.
I was afraid you were going to say there's some lady cooking on canned heat in a cart. She makes these bacon wrapped hot dogs and I don't know where they came from.
Okay, well,
that I was gonna say they do show up, but
yeah, they're there.
Yes. Yeah, like the other thing too is like at Fanime, like there'll be people who show up with carts full of like food, and specifically like these people who make these bacon wrap hot dogs, and they are the most delicious thing like I've eaten when I'm there, and it's like only $3 or $4. It's like, oh, this is so good.
I mean, if you don't mind shelling out like, what was it, $7.50 for it, then yeah, that's pretty good. And also, there's a place, I think it's like Psycho Donuts or something like that. That's not.
Oh, I've been there,
yeah.
but I'm getting to that age where I gotta watch out for shit like that these days. Oh, jar. Sorry. See, I caught it first that time. But
you caught it after you said.
Still. But there is one place you finish your thought. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, aside from that, there's another place, I think it's called, like, the Iguana Grill or something like that, that's next to the Pizza My Heart.
Yeah, Steve wants to go there. We know where that is.
And, like, I'm not one for, like, just, like, in particular, I'm not exactly a big fan of Mexican food, but they have really, really good food over there, and I would wholeheartedly recommend them.
I don't think it's traditional Mexican. It's more like Baja food, I think. But
no,
I know where you're coming from.
Baja. But yeah, no, it's just like it's with the like taste of it. I don't know what it is, but I would definitely recommend anyone over there. And of course, there's Pizza My Heart, and well, with exception to an incident like 3 years ago, I'd still recommend that.
Definitely.
Night.
So funny, actually, funny story. Speaking of Pizza My Heart, I got some pizza from Pizza My Heart there one time on the go. And I had the misfortune of I forgot, like there was this big like High School of the Dead / zombie gathering thing that they were doing at the con, and I was going through I think the Hilton side at the convention center, and they were just gathered up as soon as I walk in with just like my hand full of just like pizzas, They looked at me and they're like, just like eyes just glaring at the pizza, just like wanting to eat it from me, take it away from me. As I'm walking by, they're like, "Hey, can I get a slice?" It's like, "No, stay away!" And they act like zombies, a few of them, just to get me. Oh man, yeah.
I got one. I got one place I like to go in addition to Iguana. That's a good place, I think. But have you ever been to the pita place?
I have not.
I wanted to go there last time I was there.
I've gone there twice, and I think it's a really good place to eat. It's behind the Fairmont on, I think that's First Street over there. If you cross through that block and hang a left coming away from Fanime, go north a little bit, you'll come to the pita place, and they serve really good food. Slightly pricey, but I think it's well worth it.
Is it kind of like by the light rail area behind the Fairmont?
Yeah, it's almost directly parallel to the light rail station there.
All right.
Interesting. I'll definitely check it out. There's one thing that I think listeners at home can take away, that there's always some very good food places to to go eat.
They're all within walking distance.
And there's a wide range of food too. Foods that people can eat. So if you want your junky fast food, then you got that. If you want something more delicious and edible, there's other places like that as well too. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of food places.
I would say games there fit pretty much every budget.
Oh yes, definitely. There's one thing I have to say though, is only if you have to, do not buy any food or drinks at the con because they are overpriced.
Oh god.
And by overpriced, we're talking about $6 for a bottle of water. I know. Yeah. I had to buy one. It was not pretty.
Yeah. So I would say stay away as much as you can from not buying anything at the con, except if it's like, something like dealer's hall or artist alley stuff or whatnot, or whatever you want to do. But when it comes to food and drinks, your best bet is outside the con.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, and if I'm right, don't they also have like a little cafeteria set up in the back of the vendors hall area, like a little food section?
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. They do.
It's still pretty. It's still pretty pricey.
Well, of course, but I mean, it's just that if you don't want to move from the vendors hall.
Oh yeah.
I think their prices are pretty decent compared to the little shacks that are outside in the hallway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's one thing that. Yeah, there's definitely, like, if you're happen to be there and you're hungry and there's, like, food there you want to go buy, then, yeah, you can just, spend some money there. But, again, advice to everybody, buy stuff outside the con for food and drinks.
Safeway.
And it saves you money. Trust me.
It actually will.
Trust.
Yes.
Definitely.
No bang for a buck out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Or just pack a bag full of food and then just go back to your hotel whenever you're hungry. I would personally recommend that option, especially with the free shuttle.
Isn't that always the way, though? Sometimes you're just talking, so you guys want to go get something to eat? And then somebody just says, no, I got to cover, and they drag out that baggie full of crushed crackers.
Yeah.
Yes. I might actually look into packing some snacks this time, huh? just to probably cut down costs and not having to worry about that. I might miss something just because I chose to wait until too long and go grab something up. Or something like that,
Yeah, best advice I can give you: cashews. Small, high protein, not fattening.
I can only imagine, like, when I go up to, whatever store, get my food for the weekend, either be like Safeway or whatnot, and I can see this cashier just looking at me like, so, going on a big trip? It's like, yeah, I'm going to convention for a few days. It's like, oh, a lot of stuff here for that. It's like, yeah, I need all of it.
Actually, that brings to a funny story, because when I go to the Anime Expo, I offer to pick up Japanese snacks for people. So that generally means I'm in a Marukai buying, like, 40 boxes of frickin' Pocky. And the poor people that are serving me, they always look at me, and one of them invariably always says, so, you have a sweet tooth? And I'm trying to decide, does it sound less pathetic if I say yes, or that I'm buying this for a bunch of anime nerds? So invariably, I just say yes.
But there's no shame.
There is no shame. The only one thing I will say, the one thing I will definitely check out, because if I have time, I'll probably go check it out anyways, is the game room and just like go in there, play some games, or just hang out and just have fun in there. Yeah. So definitely. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything Fanime, unless there's any other stuff you guys planning check out or event-wise that you haven't said on this podcast
I just
yet,
realized
but...
I'm the only person that's mentioned their cosplay lineup.
Oh, do we really want to do this?
Yeah, I
see what you're saying.
I cosplay lineup because I'm bringing stuff just in case I get bored, but then I have my stuff for Cosplay Wrestling Federation, and I can't talk about that.
Okay, fair enough. You have
it's NDA stuff.
Not trying to back out on you guys. I really don't think I can give that away.
For sure.
Right. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, just a good point, Chris. So, for me, I am bringing 3 costumes. I'm bringing Sengetsu again because this is like 2.0, and I probably might be the last time I wear this unless convinced otherwise. But I'm bringing it for the Kill la Kill gathering and just walking around because it's pretty fun in it. I'm bringing my Mortal Kombat X Scorpion costume because it's part of my senior project for school. So that's I'm wearing that.
You had used to work on it.
And then the last one I'm bringing, and
it's like, what's my senior thesis? How many wedgies I can get in a 5-minute span?
It's more or less how I survive in this costume that will not just overheat myself.
Get over here.
Yes, exactly.
I want to see you try that on girls. That might actually work.
Funny enough, actually, like the voice actor of Scorpion from MKX is going to be there at Fanime.
Oh, so you're hoping for another moment like you had at Anime Expo.
Yeah. Wait, which one?
The one where you was dressed up as Senketsu and people kept dragging you around. Then eventually the voice actor stopped and like grabbed you and signed some stuff. And
oh, that yeah. Oh man, that was a good moment. It's not more or less want to have that moment again, although I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. It's just more or less just like just kind of meeting the guy, just like, hey, you're awesome in MKX, like I want to shake your hand. More or less like, I'm going to take a picture of you, sign some autographs. Well, I wouldn't mind that at all, to be honest.
Can I get your smell on me?
That was a pretty epic moment, though. That was awesome when it happened at ALA. But what was I saying? So, my third costume is a toss-up between Discord from MOP, or Paul from Paul Phoenix from Tekken, because Tekken 7 is coming out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Paul Blart, the mall cop.
That would be a very interesting cosplay. I would have to find some interesting ways to make that work.
Just get yourself a Segway. Everybody will know who you are.
Exactly. Oh man, but that's my lineup for Fanime. Rin?
Oh boy, let's see. I will be bringing 4 cosplays, but I will not be cosplaying on day 4 because I need to leave, and like pretty early, I think too. So let's see. I'll be doing. Yeah, people who know me, like follow me like on Facebook, Twitter, and all, would know that I've gotten myself way into Love Live School Idol project. So I'm doing 3 different versions of the main character, Kosaka Honoka, for days 1 and 2. And day 3 will be, if I can get it done, which hopefully it works out, will be Shamemaru Aya from Toho Project.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So that's pretty much our cosplay lineups for Fanime, as well as everything Fanime related wise in terms of like what we're looking forward to, what we're going to go check out, as well as advice.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sure a few people are wondering what the hell was the point of all this. Well, besides just reminiscing about our good times there, we were hoping that you guys could catch a glimmer as to how to make your own plans for this convention.
Oh yeah, definitely. If there's one thing to take away is like, and this is something to do every year, always make plans as far as like what you want to do, what you want to see.
Oh, hell yeah.
And here's the thing, and
definitely.
We're professionals, and we're still pretty haphazard with everything. So, like, bear in mind, like, you might like be really scatterbrained about your own stuff. Don't worry about that. Like, just take a look at us. Like, we're reporting on everything that's going to be going on in Fanime, and we're still just as scatterbrained as everyone else.
Hey, stop giving away our secrets.
You know what? I don't care. I'm under so much stress to get like 3 outfits done right now. I could not care less.
Chris is for the people, as most of the site is. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on this podcast. Before we go, Jeremy, where can I find you on the internet?
I'm on the sex offender registry. No, I'm kidding.
You're the big red circle I found on my thing.
Wow.
Suddenly I have a big red joke that I really can't tell. I do a weekly comic book podcast, the Rollin' 20s. We are actually talking to the producer of the Legend of Goddess... dolphin noise. The Legend of Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses concerts going on, as well as their special show that's upcoming at Comic-Con. I'm also on Twitter at the Rolling 20s. I am on Coastway.com as Freight, and those are the major places you can find me. The other places I can't really talk about. They are dark places where the demons dwell.
Yes, agreed. And if you want to summon Jeremy,
I like how he just agrees with that. Oh yeah, dark places, demon. Yeah, that's totally him. Yeah.
But where's the lie
though? Cool, awesome. Thank you, Jeremy. Chris, where can I find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me on the website. Still trying to work out some of the flaws with trying to do another podcast segment for us, which will allow us to swear and use as many expletives as we want, and also be kind of drunk on. And
oh yeah, that one.
Perks.
That should be a lot of fun.
Still working on that.
Yes.
And now that school's over with, I can finally get off my lazy butt and work on Reset Gaming again.
You heard him. He said he's lazy.
Yes, I am. I'm also a chronic procrastinator. Do we need to go into a whole laundry list of my faults, or
that
can we
sounds
just
awfully personal?
Yeah, let's not.
Well, to be fair, I still get A's and B's, so I mean it's not.
You're doing something right.
Yet. But I'm getting off track here. So anyway,
arguably, if you're getting A's and B's, you're not doing enough anime.
I also work. Shush. Anyway, you can also find me on Facebook at Kaz Cosplay, and as you'll see in the description, I have a Tumblr.
Stop.
I want to say it, but it's.
You gotta get better
you
at
have
that.
no idea how hard I'm trying right now.
I mean, we have to be a cleaned up version.
I know.
We have to be proper.
You can see, like, I'm trying. I'm not used to being PG, so.
We have to be like we got WWE, man. We got to be PG. So.
Yeah.
Oh, so our show has to suck too? Great.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, I have a Facebook page. I have my Tumblr. I have a Twitter, which I never use anymore, but there's that, and then of course there's the 2 video segments, and hopefully you'll see more of my photography after Fanime. And sorry about my shots being super late for WonderCon and everything, or not WonderCon, KrakenCon. It's just because I've been dealing with school and everything like that, so I shoveled that all off to Anthony because I couldn't get my software to work right.
And you know what's funny enough, I've seen. The funny part about it is that I've seen the photos. They're great. I do need to make some alterations in Watermark, but I have not had time myself as well. So because of school, I'm in Fanime. So we're in the same boat, Chris.
It's all collaborative effort, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
After Fanime, though, there shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to actually figure out my software and then regularly get stuff uploaded, which would be great. So
yeah, progress. No, thank you, Chris. Rin, where can I find you on the internet?
American Sports One Game. No, I'm kidding. No, in all seriousness, I have a Facebook page, as a Rin on Facebook. I do both cosplay and photography work. You can also find me on World Cosplay, American Cosplay Paradise, and Kirikos under the name Ring Du Noir, along with Twitter. So yeah, you can find me on all those different sources. Hopefully hopefully I can get some more stuff updated on those other more specialized cosplay outlets after Fanime. Been kind of busy myself with real life. So yeah, look forward to that.
Awesome. And you can follow me on Twitter at DefectiveNaruto. You can follow the work that me, Jeremy, Chris, and Rin do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. You can check out this podcast along other podcasts like Mission Start Podcast and the Rolling 20s that Jeremy hosts every week. You can also check out much of our coverage from previous years of Fanime that's on our website. And other, including video footage, photo shoots, cosplay galleries, and more. We'll have more of that this year. So definitely check out the website in the coming weeks as Fanime footage will be rolling out. Also, if you are Instagram, do check out our Instagram. We have an Instagram called just Mission Start Podcast. Many of us will be using the Instagram to kind of take photos or videos of what the events are going on throughout the day. So definitely follow that and follow us, and we'll definitely post some stuff. There's been some times where I recorded some stuff at Fanime or any other convention I've been to with Instagram, and it's like one of those moments. It's like, this happened, didn't it? Yeah.
I was that drunk.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I also have an Instagram where I post food porn and a whole bunch of other fun stuff, and that's just Christopher Sturm.
Food porn.
You've never heard of food porn? You've never heard of food porn?
It's not porn unless you can
food porn.
Right?
No.
Only if you're that into spaghetti.
Yeah, man.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
The only thing that spaghetti
pretty
does
hot
for me is fly right out of my pockets. But
yeah.
That is disgusting. That's where you put it?
You've never heard that before? Just spaghetti is just falling right out of my pockets?
No. How Italian are you?
I'll give you an Italian joke.
I would go.
That makes it sound like beef pie should be falling out of my pockets. What the frick is going on here?
But no, yeah, my Instagram is Christopher Sturm, and it's KRISTOFFERSTURM. If you check that, you'll just see food. Of course, it's food, and I'm proud of my cooking, but at the same time, it makes people really mad because they can't have it.
With that, we will see you guys next. We'll see you there at Fanime.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Food porn. But yeah, we'll see you guys.
See you in a few days.
We'll see you in a few days. We'll definitely be there.
We're
going to
be the dark people hiding in the bushes.
Yes. All right, guys.